The clean. Why the clean? It's a vital, natural, functional component of movement. For example, picking anything up off the ground and getting it to your shoulder height under control, like cement bags or boxes for moving, or even picking up your children. You get the idea. So you can see that this is one of the most functional movements of our daily life. It's known as the world's most powerful lift. This is a momentum-dominant movement that demands strength, speed, power, flexibility, coordination, agility, balance, and accuracy. This develops hip extension and creates an incredibly potent neuroendocrine response. To perform this movement well, you need a proficient front squat. And obviously, my clean isn't 100% as I still need to work on my range and my mobility. Key points of movement. Your arms should stay straight throughout hip extension. Re-dipping under the bar into a front squat. Be fast and aggressive throughout. Stand up with your hip and knees completely extended and the bar in the front rack. The setup. Stance and foot position. Your stance should be between hip and shoulder width with toes slightly turned out. This provides the best supporting position to produce power. Maintain a neutral spine. We do this for safety and power output. Hand position is the same as your deadlift and shoulder to overhead movements. A good rule of thumb is 3 finger widths outside of your shoulders. This is an optimal anatomical pulling position. Neutral head position. This keeps the alignment of your spine for maximum power and safety. Scapula, lats, and hamstrings should be super tight and engaged. This will help keep the bar close and the body rigid during the lift. Shoulders directly above the bar at the setup with an upright torso. We do this for optimal pulling position and weight distribution. Progression with a PVC or barbell. Halting deadlift to the knees. Focus on your hips and shoulders rising together. Rotation to the jumping position. This is all about getting comfortable moving the bar into the jumping position. High hang open hip shrug. Focus on fast extension and shrug with no arm bend. Rotation open hip shrug. Focus is on hitting the jumping position, opening, and shrugging seamlessly. Front squat. Focus on depth and a parallel elbow position throughout. Hang clean. Focus on open hip shrug and beating the bar down, catching it low and tight. Full clean from the floor. Execution. Weight distribution. Weight should be in your heels. This activates our posterior chain, which is our engine for movement and stabilization. Take a deep diaphragmatic breath at the standing position and then squeeze your abs throughout the lift. This will help your body to stay rigid and maintain your lumbar curve. Bend at the hips and grip the bar, ideally in a hook grip. The hook grip is placing the thumb across the bar towards your hand and then squeezing your thumb and bar. This is an extremely strong way to grip the bar, but will take some getting used to. Push your knees out laterally on the way up. This creates the most power and balance through the movement and activates your glutes. Bar should remain in contact with the legs at all times. To keep the weight as close to our center of mass as possible, this makes it more efficient. Hips and shoulders rise at the same rate. We do this to completely utilize the hamstrings, glutes, and back as one big unit. We develop way more power with all three working together. Once the bar is past the knees and shoulders will rotate about the hip into a jumping position. We are setting ourselves up to have an upright torso to help jump the bar vertically. Jump to full extension of the hips and knees and then shrug. We do this to develop explosive hip extension and shoulder flexion to translate momentum to the bar vertically. Pull yourself under the bar, receiving it in a front squat. This will help to receive the bar under support and balance with the load in the frontal plane. Stand up to full extension of the knees and hips with the bar remaining in the front rack. This will help maintain the bar in the frontal plane and allow you to finish the lift. Common faults with simple fixes. Hyperextension. It compromises the natural and stable position of your spine and leaves you more susceptible to injury. Maintain a super tight midsection by taking that deep diaphragmatic breath before you start. Rounded back. This may be because you have weak or tight hamstrings and glutes. It compromises the natural stable position of your spine and leaves you more susceptible to injury. Be sure to take that deep diaphragmatic breath and maintain a tight midsection throughout. Knees folding in. This could be that you have stronger leg extension than hip extension, or maybe some weak adductors. It puts pressure on the tendons and ligaments in the knees. Push your knees out laterally or spread the ground apart with your feet. Hips rise before the shoulders. This is super common. You may have a weaker back and stronger hamstrings. Lift with your hips and shoulders at the same speed. Shoulders rise without the hips. The bar may travel around the knees here. This may mean that your back is stronger than your hamstrings. Lift with your legs and your shoulders together. Pulling with the arms. A cardinal sin in the core to extremity world. This creates a loss of power and a break in the chain of momentum. Just try to keep your arms super loose throughout the movement, unable to drop under fully. You may be a little scared to get underneath the bar. There may be a lack of flexibility or mobility in the squat and front rack position. Focus on full range squatting to develop comfort in those deep receiving positions. Hips don't open all the way. You may be in a rush to drop under the bar. Jump higher to get full power and squeeze your butt to get those hips open. Thanks for watching.